guys, good evening. It's me, Maria. It's Thursday night, about 7:48, and said I would be sharing some episodes with you guys on my web diaries, basically vlog diaries of a day in the life of me. I didn't really have much to do today. Basically, I woke up late because normally I tend to try to get enough sleep, but sleep for me is very hard because I think I have sleep apnea. It's really hard for me to sleep at night. Sometimes I like to leave a fan on at night in my bedroom, but since I don't have one at the moment, I have to leave a heater on because it gets too hot or too cold. If it's too cold, then it's hard for me to leave the fan on at night, so I leave the heater. Plus I have my dog Tilly and Coco. My cat right now kind of keeps me up all night, and I can't really close her out of the bedroom because her food's in here and I have to keep it separate from the dog, Tilly. And Tilly, she will eat the cat food and her food if I leave it in the kitchen. So it's a huge mess. Yeah. So I probably had about maybe several hours of sleep last night or the night before. Woke up pretty late today. I was with my best friend Tasha and her mom today. Spent the day with her mom and my friend Tasha. And we just went back and forth and did some errands. Her parents are going on vacation right now, so I'm going to be staying with her for a couple of weeks. That'll probably do me good, to kind of get out of the apartment life and, hang out with my friend for a while. So if that's the case, I'm probably going to be filming some of my episodes with my friend. Most of the time, all we do is sew. We do this thing where we sew now, where our first thing we do are coasters. So let me just give you an example of what we're doing right now. We sew these little coasters, and this might be like probably a better thing because everybody likes Minions. If you've ever seen Despicable Me, then you got to see these guys, the little Minion dudes. So this right here is what I made, is a coaster, and they're all different. The patterns are all different, but they come in a set of 4. And these little dudes, the fabric is like, you could see the Minions on one side and the fabric like this on one side. So yeah, I have 4 of these in a set that I just made, and I'm going to be selling them. I haven't really had a chance to make a lot. I've been working a lot, and so most of the time, like I said in my previous episodes, I'll get home from work and I'm tired and I crash. So I try to get myself up in the early routine if I'm not, if my sleep schedule is not messed up. So what I normally do in my downtime is making these, these coasters is what I just first started out. I also made, let's see if I can find another. If any of you guys have ever seen Beauty and the Beast, the Disney version, then this is the prince and the witch. The witch is right here, and this is the prince. So yeah. And, the fabric isn't much. It's just the purple and the yellow. So I made a set of 4 of these. So, yeah. So me and my friend Tasha have been working on these really good. She's actually becoming really good, really good at it. Me, I still need some work, but I try. And basically corners of these I still need practice on, but you know, nobody's perfect at anything. So yeah, I've been doing that, sewing, taking up sewing lessons. Let's see, what else was I gonna say? I went to the library today. That was quite fun, and you know, I didn't think about it, but it was something free, and you know, since I've set myself on a budget, you know, because I pay bills, and I'm recently, just last year, started watching Game of Thrones, and I became obsessed with it to the point where I was like, I wonder what the books are like. And a lot of people have said that the books are really long and kind of, I don't know what the word I should say about it is. Too gruesome. You know, each character's death is gruesome or something like that, but the only main reason I watched the TV series was because of my favorite character, who of course the dude killed him off before the last episode, and I was kind of pissed, like they do with The Walking Dead. They kill off every good character, and it's become so boring now. But anyways, so I'm gonna share with you guys some of the books that, yeah, I know, big bag, lots of books. Of course, I didn't bring a bag to the library, so I had to carry them out in a pile. But I'm not going to tell you what each description is. I'm just going to show you. Of course, Game of Thrones, dudes. Game of Thrones. Volume 1. And look how thick this baby is. I will try to read that, but I only have half a month to read that thing. And maybe I will try to re-rent it again. I don't know how that works. I'm obsessed with Egypt, basically Cleopatra. So I like to read up on biographies of Cleopatra. So I found this book called Cleopatra's Shadow. And it looked pretty interesting. The description was pretty interesting. It basically isn't about Cleopatra. It was more on the other side of her sisters. She had 2 sisters in line of the throne before she was, well, it's a long story. So this looked pretty interesting to me, and I was like, why not? Then, before I go on, I tend to read a lot of sci-fi, fantasy books, a lot of, you know, books that include elves, magic, dwarves, or whatever you want to call them. Sorry, stuttering right now, I'm trying. And Western books, you know, and I hate romance novels. The only romance novels I can probably read are Pride and Prejudice, which I've read a dozen times. I've seen the movie a lot. And Jane Eyre and Sense and Sensibility. But any other romance novels, gosh, I can't say anything bad about romance novels. I really never could get into it. So yeah, basically I like to read sci-fi and fantasy. So I also got this series called The Hall of the Dragon King, and it's a series of 5 books. Then I only got 3 of them because they didn't have the others. So yeah, that I'm going to hopefully read. That was the same with the Dragon King series. And that, I think, was, I don't know, book 2? Yeah, I only was able to get 3 of them. And then, of course, the author of Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin. And this one is something called Dreams Songs, Volume 2. I couldn't find volume 1, which is gonna suck because I have only volume 2. They didn't have volume 1 of that. And then I went with my all-time favorite comic books. If you're asking, when did you ever get into comic books? When I read, Witchblade. Witchblade was like a series that came on TNT a long time ago in the 90s. And they actually made it into a TV series. When that happened, I became obsessed with it. So I used to go up to my old bookstore on the, well, it wasn't a bookstore, it was kind of like a comic book store on the corner of where I lived. And they had all the Witchblade comic book series. Now, I would read them at the store because, you know, obviously I didn't have the money or the time to buy them. So sometimes I would read, you know, each page at a time, then would go back another day and read them again. But Witchblade, they also had it online, which, you know, which is pretty awesome now. They have comic books that you can read online, and books that you can listen to online nowadays. But I like to do it out physical, you know, like reading a book like this. Instead of listening to a book, I like to look at the pictures or the words. That's just me. You know, some people are different. I like to read them, you know, right in front of me. So, but anyways, I got this comic book series called Heathen. And it's basically about this Viking / warrior princess. And it's a 2-season, 2-series thing, you know, volume 1, volume 2. So that is all the books that I got today. Basically spent my day at home asleep because it was my day off and I was enjoying it. I'm kind of a little sick. I have an allergy problem today. My nose has been really sniffly, but it's not really bothering me. But yeah, I'm a little tired. I've got books that I can read. I'm gonna probably start sewing tomorrow. I need to work on another thing of coasters before I can start selling them. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that this was my Thursday. This is how I spent my Thursday. What you're seeing right now is my She Shack room. Basically, I'll be filming some of my episodes back here. And yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna get off here, and I just wanted to let everybody know that this was my Thursday. See you guys later. And have a good night. Stay safe. Don't drive crazy. A lot of people do, unfortunately. Alright. Ciao, y'all. See you in the future.